Welcome back to the channel. I am glad to be back, and today, as I announced earlier today, we will be discussing the main character of One Piece, Luffy himself, the captain of the Straw Hat crew. Speaking of Monkey D. Luffy, and as soon as I pick this up, I got my dog in here. I figured it'd be a little appropriate to eat some meat. And yes, I'm more than aware it's taken a while for me to get to this point, but I feel like it would be more than worth it to finally get to this point in time. And so, oh man, it's a lot better to be talking about Luffy than it would be talking about the so-called real captain of the Straw Hats. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about his history and origins. Not gonna lie, it's hitting pretty good.
Monkey D. Luffy was born in Fuchsia Village, in the East Blue, part of a mysterious family line known as the Will of D. He is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and the grandson of Monkey D. Garp, the famed legendary marine hero. Though largely raised by village caretakers and mountain bandits, Luffy's earlier years were shaped by the atmosphere of adventure and danger because of his family's extraordinary backgrounds. A defining influence on Luffy's childhood came from the red-haired Shanks and his pirate crew who spent time in Fuchsia Village. Luffy idolized Shanks' carefree strength and sense of camaraderie, which ultimately shaped his understanding of what pirates should be. A pivotal moment came when Shanks lost his arm saving Luffy from a sea monster, demonstrating the courage and the loyalty that Luffy would later embody. Before departing, Shanks entrusted Luffy with his treasured straw hat, symbolizing their promise that Luffy would one day become a great pirate. Another major event in Luffy's youth occurred when he accidentally ate a devil fruit stored by Shanks' crew, believing it to be the Gumu Gumu no Mi. Luffy unwittingly gained the ability to stretch his body like rubber, while losing the ability to swim. Much later, it is revealed that the fruit is actually the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, a mythical zone fruit tied to the sun god Nika, granting him immense freedom-themed power. This power becomes central to Luffy's identity and free fighting style as he matures. Luffy's earlier life also included deep bonds with Portuguese D. Ace and Sabo, two boys with similar dreams of freedom who became his sworn brothers. The trio grew up training, fighting, and dreaming together in the forests of Mount Kalubo. Their promise to set out to sea as pirates established the emotional core of Luffy's ambitions and laid the groundwork for the themes of brotherhood, resilience, and sacrifice that influenced Luffy's future decisions. At the age of 17, Luffy would finally set sail to pursue his dream of becoming the Pirate King. Starting alone in a tiny boat, he quickly began assembling the Straw Hat Pirates, a crew driven by loyalty and shared dreams. His journey from that moment onward became a quest not only for the One Piece, but for ultimate freedom. Luffy's origins, shaped by a strong moral models and powerful friendships and an extraordinary destiny, set the stage for his rise as one of the most influential figures in the One Piece world.
Now we get to the second part of the video where I talk about my personal thoughts and opinions of Luffy. And the first question we always got to ask at the beginning of this part is, how was I introduced to Luffy? I have known Luffy the existence of Luffy for a long time. I mean, when I was in 5th grade, and this tells you how long it's been that I've known, like, at least the existence of this character. It's like when I was in 5th grade at 10 or 11 years old, and I started taking a look at, like, manga for the first time. And I was looking at, I think I rented out a Bleach manga at one point. Wanted to take a look at that, and it was okay. It's not my style. Eventually, I would get, like, a Dragon Ball manga to rent out, and read that. And then just spot a One Piece manga. Just a volume of the One Piece manga, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And I know when I say this, a lot of people will kind of get mad and just say, well, no, that's not true. That's not true. But it's like, when you're like 10 or 11, you really don't really care how people view it. But it's like, I thought for some reason, like, okay, this dude's just trying to be Goku at this point. Why would I read something else that's literally just pirate Dragon Ball? And I am glad I was totally wrong, and would eventually actually go watch the series, like, years later, like literally about 3 years ago, probably in near the end of May. No. At the beginning of 2022, of January 2022, I would go with a couple of friends of mine to one of their houses, and we would hang out after class over at the Bible college we were attending to. And we would get together and say, we would talk about certain things, play games every now and then, and talk about certain things. And one of the things that came up, I was saying, and brought it up because I had an interest in wanting to take a look at One Piece. I'm like, you know what? With everybody, and I told him, like, a lot of people are talking about One Piece. Maybe we should go give it a try and see what this is all about. And then what kind of sparked that conversation as well was probably the fact that I think Gear 5th came out in 2022. I could be wrong. Or at least sparks of the conversation about Gear 5 came out around that time. I'm like, what is this? And it sparked my interest. But I'm like, okay, I got to take a look at this now. And so, and of course, when you scroll through YouTube Shorts, you see like clips of like One Piece and other anime. I'm like, I'd have to actually take a look at this. And so eventually, I would convince my friends to be like, hey, let's take a look at this. Let's watch as much as we possibly can. I mean, it wouldn't kill us. I mean, I know there's 1,000 episodes, but let's give it a shot. And from the start of Romance Dawn to the end of Arlong Park, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I hadn't started reading the manga yet, and I'm like, okay, I like this a lot. And especially being introduced to Luffy at the beginning of Romance Dawn arc was great. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next question and talk about what I enjoyed about Luffy. And what I enjoyed at like the beginning of the Romance Dawn arc is when he bursts out of the barrel and just starts having that conversation with Kobe, calling him a weak, pathetic loser, and just more so in a way to where it's like, okay, it's kind of made obvious you're kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but it's like, it's a part of his personality to where it's like, yeah, it's there, and it's it's very interesting. And another aspect that I do intend to enjoy, even with Goku, is the eating. Because personally myself, I'm a food guy. I'm a foodie. I will take any opportunity to eat if there's a possibility of doing it. Matter of fact, I'm doing it right now. And my dog's in here, he's like, you gonna give me something? They're like, no. No, Georgie. No chicken for you. That's all I got. Anyway, I digress, but I really enjoyed those food scenes that he has, that like the aspect of, like there's aspects to where, yeah, there's similar aspects to Goku, but there's also aspects of his character that are different. And so we go throughout the whole time as he meets these crew members. It's like an aspect that Goku doesn't really have is this, to be able to have like the emotional intelligence to see people for who they are, not what they show, and not just based off of their current words and the way that they display themselves. And so it's, and you see that with Zoro, you see that with Nami, you see that with Sanji. Well, Nami a little bit later on, way near the end of the Arlong arc. Well, I guess I would say earlier than that, probably after the Don Krieg fight. He sees that with Usopp, he sees that with Sanji, of course. And then once we get to the point of the Arlong arc where Nami loses every ounce of berry that she saved up to free the village from Arlong, we get this amazing scene to where I remember seeing it for the first time. A lot of people say this happened to them, and I don't blame them, but I cried watching it because it made me feel her pain in that moment. I'm like, gosh, that's crazy. And seeing him take off his hat, put on Nami's head, was an amazing thing. And being able to see that scene for what it was, it's like, of course I'm going to help you. You know, seeing beyond what she was displaying, like, despite the fact that she tried to get him out of there. I mean, she actually did genuinely care about the Straw Hats, but she just pretended she didn't. And Luffy saw through that. To have that kind of emotional intelligence in a character just makes me enjoy this kind of style of shonen, to where it's like, you get the fights, you get the crazy techniques, you get the crazy characters, you get ridiculous gags, but you also get great storytelling at the same time, which I completely enjoy. And not only that, the fight scene, I mean, look, everybody, arguably, the fight scene in One Piece are great. They gotten, and they get better through time. Arguably, though, they do get a little stale towards Skypiea, which I'm reading right now. Don't get me wrong, Skypiea is not bad, but it's kind of becoming how can I say this? I'm kind of getting bored of it. I know there's some aspects I know of that are connecting more and more, and I can really, I'll have to talk about it another time. I'll save that for maybe a whole other video and talk about my thoughts and feelings on Skypiea. But honestly, it gets better. It does. Heck, I mean, Water 7, I mean, after Skypiea, Water 7 does better, and it just gets better and better and better. And of course, the whole Marineford thing, yes, I know, I'm aware, I know about that. The internet has spoiled me on a lot of different things. But, point being, his fighting style, how he comes up with his own techniques, how he comes up with all this different stuff, and he sees different things, he fights guys regardless, and then gets more emotional development near the end of the pre-time skip stuff, which is crazy. And I'm very happy that he goes from this lovable rubber man who loves to eat meat all the time to that same person, but with some emotional depth to him, to actually make him feel lost for the first time, is interesting to me. Because, like, I mean, Goku's had those moments, and don't get me wrong, I still like Goku, he's cool, but he's not Luffy. He's not Luffy to me, because, like, Luffy, honestly, to me, he is the best main character in any anime series. No matter how much people want to say he's just a guy that shovels meat in his hands and stretches, no, he's way more than that. And so now we get to the bit of the more harder part of the video. What do I dislike about Luffy? I mean, there's probably only one thing that people may or may not like when I say this. There was this moment in, I'm trying to remember, it was that cactus town. Little Cactus, no, that's Little Garden, but it's right after Log Town, and it's the moment where all the Baroque Works agents that are hired to go kill the Straw Hats are waiting for them to go to sleep, and Zoro's up and fights all of them, and then eventually wakes up Luffy, and for some reason Luffy decides to fight him and wants to kill him, and I'm like, what's that about, you know? It's a little strange to me. It was a little strange to me, because when I read it, I don't think it wasn't in the manga, because it's been a minute since I've read that part. It's been maybe like a year and a half since I read that. I might need to go back and take a look at it if I can find it, because currently, like I said, I'm reading Skypiea. I just finished this book last night, or part of the manga last night, and so, I mean, the fight that they have, it's kind of cool. The ending's hilarious, of course. Getting punched by Nami is funny, but it's like, it was unneeded. It was unnecessary. I can't really find anything else I dislike about him, because it's just, it's kind of hard to find those moments for me, especially with how much I know and how much of the details I'm kind of missing in certain spots. So, I mean, in the future I might redo this video and do a little bit more of a revised version of everything. So I don't know, but I digress. And I mean, that's really the only thing I really can think of. Now, this is a question I actually surprisingly didn't think I would come up while writing the script today. And it's this. Do I enjoy the direction Oda's taking him? I'm going to word this carefully. Yes, and maybe. I do like the fact that we get to expand upon more of his abilities, his powers, how Gear 5th works, how it's not just a power that's just for him, it can technically be shared, I think. It's how it works with Bonnie, or whatever, or how she uses her time powers, or whatever. Excuse me one second. Go ahead, Georgie. Or whatever it is, I do like the fact that they are taking Luffy more and more towards the end. It's just, as they kind of get ready to get focused on the end, and it just seems like I don't think it's necessarily being rushed, because, like, look, it's taking the same amount of time for an arc to end as much as it usually would. So, depending whether it's a short arc or not, like Egghead, which I haven't gotten past, and then there's Wano, which lasted a long time, apparently. It's just, I mean, there's not a lot of change that has been made. There's some maturity, there's some level of strength that's achieved, but it's like, yes, I like some of it, but also it's like, there's not a lot to see with Luffy. A lot of the times, it's more so with his crewmates, and they're not necessarily the main characters, they're the supporting group, but they also get affected by the changes that happen in the world. I mean, I do like the direction, but I'm not entirely sure what else there could be for him until, I mean, the end goal. I mean, we're that close. We're at Elbath. We just got through the God Valley incident. I know a lot that I don't need to be knowing right now, especially as somebody who's at Skypiea. I know I'm like way behind, but it's like, it's crazy to me. I'm not entirely sure where it's going. I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna get more and more details here and there. Heck, I mean, I gotta get to Elbath at some point myself and figure out, okay, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? And not just base it off of somebody else's opinion on it. Because, like, look, I enjoy other people's opinion. I do. I like listening to other people's opinion, but I want to go form my own before I start having conversations with other people. Which brings us to the last question that I usually ask in this part of the video. It is, what do I hope for the future? And I hope we actually get the ending of One Piece. I hope we get a good ending. I hope we get to see Luffy, or I hope we might even see Buggy become the king of the pirates before Luffy does. Yes, I'm one of those people that want that. Now, two possibilities. Those two possibilities I just mentioned. Either Luffy becomes the king of the pirates, as he was, at one point was supposed to, at one point down earlier in the anime, or we get to see Buggy become king of the pirates. Another possibility is that if they want to keep the story going, I guess in like a sequel series, I doubt they want to do that, especially with how long One Piece has been around. It's like, okay, what's the point of making a sequel series if Luffy is at the point where he's either the Pirate King or someone else is? And it just, I don't know. I just hope to see we get a good ending, we get what we need, and then eventually, of course, we get more great episodes for the live action, and we get to, get to see more of Luffy, of Inyaki's Luffy, because, like, I enjoy so much of what he is doing, because literally, if I had to say anything about where they're taking him, he's literally just Luffy in live action. It's in all fairness, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with some of the aspects, but it's like, to me, I personally think it's just Luffy. He's literally just Luffy. There's nothing to really, find any difference with. That's how I see it. I mean, I could be completely wrong. My opinion could be completely wrong, but that's how I see it. I want to see more of what we see, and I know it's going to be a little different, but this is a live action Luffy we're getting out of this, which is great. And I guess one other thing I hope we get at the end of the day is something for Oda to have at the end of the day, not only to finish his story, to set up a legacy that he's built for since 1991? Is it that old? I could be wrong. 1997? I think that's when the anime came out. 1997 is when the anime came out, and 1991 is when the manga came out, because he was 17 at that time when he started developing the ideas. So something that just gives him a good legacy to leave behind. I mean, I know I've heard reports about his health not being well. I mean, we literally lost Toriyama a year ago, and I'm just hoping we get the ending before he goes to pass on. I know a lot of people are hoping for that too. But that being said, let's go ahead and get to the final thoughts of the video. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born with adversity." Personally, for me, I have been really enjoying Eiichiro Oda's story of One Piece through the main character of Luffy and the side characters of the Straw Hats. And it's going in a direction where his powers and his influence are growing every moment. And most importantly, his greatest characteristic that just seems to stay is his emotional intelligence, his care and love for his crew is still there, and it always will be there, whether you like it or not. Which is very interesting to me, because a lot of the time people like to say, a lot of that is fueled by people feeding him. But I think in some ways he does still kind of care about people outside of it, despite not declaring himself to be a hero. Although he's not my favorite character, I still have a lot of respect and care for him, not unlike a certain blue hedgehog. I have being able to see him walk out his dream with his likable and fun nature, looking for more and more to adventure with until we get to the end. It'll be a bittersweet feeling to see that happen, to see the ending, to see him achieve it, because it's the same thing in real life. We meet people, we get to a certain point in life where whether we get successful or not, and let's just say we get to be successful in life, and it's bittersweet. You had a whole fun adventure, but now where do you go from here? And being able to see that play out as well is just, rather than just a sense of sadness, but a sense of wonder. And that's another thing about Luffy. It's a sense of wonder that he has every single time. His spirit of adventure in everything he does. He has inspired me in my own dreams. And I know in countless others as well, to do those things, to want to do those things and find an adventure of their own making. This has been quite an interesting video to start the week off on. I hope you enjoyed that discussion. I know I have. It's definitely refreshing due to Luffy's simple but yet complex nature within the series of One Piece. And I know there's going to be more characters to talk about in the future, especially that certain marksman with a lying tongue of his. And one other thing I want to ask y'all in the comments down below, tell me your favorite One Piece character, because I always like to hear that as well. It's a very interesting thing for me to hear people's opinions. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm happy to be back and recording again. And I look forward to doing more videos. And if you had fun watching this today, watching me walk back and forth between this room here, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for future uploads, and for more discussions and the videos like these. I will see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.